Maybe they're coming back tomorrow or today. So,
Gotta find something more sturdy.
Okay, in an unbelievable op-ed on the 7 News, a certain rabbi wrote the following: "We will take vengeance." Don't get too excited, folks. "We will take vengeance that the enemy will not know where to run away." I'm translating as I'm reading into English. For every rabbi that you kill, we will create 10 Torah classes. For every mother that you kill on our side, we will match 10 couples and marry them off. For every child that you slaughter, we will make 10 more classes in schools. For every couple that you slaughter, we will create another class for parents to learn about how to be the best parents they could be and how to educate their kids. The rabbi goes on to write that we never wanted to hurt those that are innocent bystanders. But however, since you've been coming to destroy us, and you destroy people that are innocent individuals, this you have brought unto yourself. What have you brought unto yourself? Listen to these words. The tremendous light that we will bring as a result of you killing us softly, I might add, the tremendous light that we will create Torah classes, or we will create Jewish education for parents, how to educate their kids, or parental classes. This tremendous light will blind all of you. You will all be affected by this light. From this light that we will create, the light that we will create by these new Torah classes and new classes of kids and marrying off couples, all this tremendous light will put you in the dark, and you will understand, finally, the evil that you have perpetrated. I mean, if I could, I know that we're coming close, we're 2 weeks away from Purim, but to me, this is unbelievable. This is totally disgusting. This is totally disgusting. And if he was alone, we could say, you know what, this guy's a loner. But let me tell you something. We hear over and over again, when you go to these funerals and you listen, I have a famous expression that I've used for so many years, 20, 30 years here in Israel, that the only thing worse than the murder itself is listening afterwards to the politicians, or sometimes to the rabbis, listening to their eulogies. That is worse than the murder itself. And what have they been talking about? Let me tell you, they've been talking about, they have this expression, it's unbelievable, it's totally sick, it's sickening. Bibinyan haaretz tenucham. May God console you by seeing the building of Eretz Yisrael. Can you imagine that? Jews are being murdered, Jews are being attacked, Jews are being injured, hospitalized. Jews are afraid to travel. Jews are afraid to come to Jerusalem. Jews are afraid to travel to Judea and Samaria. And they're coming to these bereaved families that have suffered, kids, husbands, wives, whoever, and they're telling them that you should be consoled by God in the building of the land of Israel, where for thousands of years Jews have said, Hashem yikom damam. Jews have said, may God avenge this murder. May we see vengeance. Like King David says in Psalms, may we see the vengeance of the wicked. There was a satire that I wish it was funny, but it's not too funny. There was a satire that was taken out that was saying we're looking for volunteers to die. Those that are interested in dying, please contact us, because every Jew that we will be able to murder, we will be able to set up a new settlement. And for every Jew that's murdered, we'll be able to build new bypass roads. And for every Jew that's murdered, we'll be able to recognize certain settlements. I wish it was funny, but it's not. Because it's disgusting to listen to so-called leaders of Israel talking like there is some kind of compensation here. There's some kind of compensation that if a Jew is murdered, then we will, that Jew is worth recognition. And we come along and say, no. We come along and say that every Jew is generations. He would have brought, or she would have brought in another 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 kids. And therefore, afterwards, those grandchildren that we'll never see. So add on to that. And their great-grandchildren. We're talking about each person has within them. I'm not talking about the light that they bring to the world. I'm just talking about the continuation of the Jewish chain, what they bring to the world. And you're selling us for recognition? Well, you could take your recognition and you know what to do with it. Who the hell needs your recognition? We're recognized from the creation of the world. God recognized at the land of Israel. I don't need your recognition. I want Jews alive. I don't want frightened Jews. Killing me softly. It's an unbelievable halacha. It's in the Code of Jewish Law, book Yoredea, 364, chapter 364, Law 4. It's written there that if a Jew is murdered by non-Jews, they are not to be touched. They're not to be put in a ritual bath, cleansed. They are not to be given the traditional garb that a Jew that passes away is given. And they have to be left as is. You have to gather up the blood. You have to gather up all the bloody clothes, and if it's shoes, pants, whatever. And that's the way the person is buried. What's the idea behind? Shouldn't it seems like kind of a disrespect for the dead person. However, the Taz in paragraph 5 in this Code of Jewish Law, he says an amazing law, amazing Torah. He says, why is this that a Jew that is murdered by a non-Jew has to be buried in his bloody clothes, or the weapon to be buried that was used against him? It's in order to make people furious and revenge this dead Jew's murder. To bring people to become furious, angry, mad. Forget this hushing up. Forget this killing me softly. It's good for Roberta Flack, but it ain't good for the Jewish people. there's 2 points that after our class last week I ran into, and they're very important points, so I'm going to add them. Number 1, the first point is in a Rishon named Chizkuni. The portion was last week, Exodus 23, verse 27. It says in the verse that God will place the fear of God on the nations that reside in the land of Israel. This is before the Jewish people are coming into the land of Israel. God says He will place the fear of God onto the nations that live in Israel when the Jewish people come in. So listen to this. It says in that verse, to all the people and all the nations there. Why does it add the word all? It just say nations, the nations there. Why all? So we know that every word in the Torah is precious. There is no extra word, or there's no extra letter. In fact, if we're missing a letter, that Torah is not a kosher Torah. So why did it add this extra word, all? So this is a tremendous lesson. We spoke about it last week. I found another source to this. So the Chizkuni writes, and once again, this is a Rishon. This is not somebody in our generation. So this is going back, way back. So he says, why does it use the word all? Because this includes not only the 7 nations, the famous 7 nations, who we are told to